let's talk about that Nintendo Direct. While I don't think that Direct was really for me, I personally give it like a D. There were some interesting stuff that did come out of this Direct that I do want to mention and talk about for a little bit. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We are trying to hit 750 subscribers for the end of the month. We are so close. We're at 714, so definitely hit that like and subscribe button. It does help out a lot. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into the Nintendo Direct. So this Nintendo Direct was more of a partner direct, or not more of a, it was a partner direct where every game that was basically announced was from a third-party developer. And there's some developers that honestly were missing, like Square Enix. There was no Square Enix games on there at all, which unfortunately, I mean, we're missing the biggest thing that was announced almost 3 years ago. I want to say 3 years, maybe a little bit more than 3 years ago, which was Dragon Quest 3. No Dragon Quest 3. I was like, come on. We were talking about this in the podcast last Sunday. And yeah, I'm very disappointed there was no Dragon Quest 3 update. Doesn't have to be a release date, but an update would be nice. All we did see was just a small footage of just highlighting the area of how graphically it's different. They're using the HD 2D engine. They've changed the way like combats look and all that other stuff. And yeah, no Dragon Quest 3 at all. I definitely wasn't expecting Dragon Quest 12, but Dragon Quest 3 was something that more than likely I thought I would have seen. So with that out of the way, let's talk about what we did see. Starting off with some more Unicorn Overlord. Unicorn Overlord was showed off once again. And yeah, now there's a demo, and the demo does carry over to the full game, which is pretty awesome because I personally was going to go ahead and pick it up on the Nintendo Switch. And it's nice to see, like a lot of other demos, where I can actually start the game and then continue on when the game comes out. I think this is an awesome trend. I shout out Square Enix for doing that because I want to say they were the first ones to do it. I remember as far back as maybe Octopath Traveler 1 did it first. Maybe. I'm trying to think if there's any game before that. But yeah, Octopath Traveler 1 was the first one that I remembered. And then of course we had that Dragon Quest 11 demo, which was amazing. That you had 10 hours of the game to play. And then that carried over to the main game. And I think that was pretty awesome. Because within those first 10 hours, a lot of great things happened. And of course, a lot of people were sold on that demo alone. So being able to play Unicorn Overlord, I don't know why this game is so hard to say. Being able to play Unicorn Overlord before it comes out and having that progress go ahead and go into the full game, I think is pretty awesome. It is available on Nintendo Switch as well as PlayStation, so if you are picking up on PlayStation, and I think also Xbox as well. The next game to talk about is Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance is basically, it's not a I guess you could say it's more like well, maybe not, because I was gonna compare it to Persona 5 Royale, but it really is not, because there's a lot of stuff they've added. They even changed the story a little bit, and that's quite a big difference. It basically makes Shin Megami Tensei 5 almost like non-existent now, because this kind of replaces that in almost every way, shape, or form. And it does come in also with the original story to Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is pretty huge, because this is basically almost having two games in one, even though those two games are very similar. But Vengeance has just different things going on in it, a different story, a lot more monsters or demons, whatever you want to call them, inside the game, and there's a lot more going on with it. And of course, Vengeance is also multi-platform. You can also play it on PlayStation. You can also play it on PC. So you can play that in more spots than just the Nintendo Switch. That is kind of, I don't know, like for me, I didn't buy the first one, but it almost feels like a slap in the face for everybody who bought the first one to get a what you might be a better version of the game overall. But I guess if you're an Atlas fan, you shouldn't be surprised, because they did that with Persona 5. You bought Persona 5 on PS5, then you had to buy it Royale at full price. Oh, guess what? And then when Royale came out on PS4 and then it came out on PS5, you had to rebuy it again at full price. So yeah, not surprised, but still kind of messed up that they're having that. But anyways, the game that does look great. I haven't played it. I might pick it up eventually. We'll see, because I've been more of a Persona fan. I've never played a Shin Megami Tensei game, though a lot of people I've talked to said that I should definitely give it a try. So we'll see if I pick this up or not. I don't know. We'll see. Now, one of the highlights for me in this Direct was actually Star Wars Battlefront Collection. I was a huge Battlefront fan back in the days. I'm not talking about the EA Battlefront games. I'm talking about the original Battlefront games. And I really enjoyed specifically Battlefront 2. I love the co-op campaign, how you can be the 501st and then go through that whole story mode. That was pretty awesome. Like, I really enjoyed that. Not only that, like the conquest mode in the game was amazing. I would play that a lot with my brother, where you had to go through different planets and you're basically conquering the galaxy depending on who you're playing as, whether you're playing as like the Empire or the Republic or the Rebellion, or whoever it might be, or the Separatists I think is the other one. So you got to choose all the different factions and kind of conquest there. Overall, it was pretty fun. I really enjoyed that, and it's something that I don't know why it's missing in the modern Battlefront games. But not only that, like the maps were just so fun. Just the gameplay of the game, of the whole game, was just really fun. So I'm very glad we have this collection. Up to 64 players online, which is pretty awesome. So they do have that. No crossplay, it looks like. I've been researching it before I made this video. I was trying to look up anything on this game, and there doesn't seem to be any crossplay at all, which kind of sucks. I guess the only crossplay they have is if you have the PS4 version. Of course, you can play with PS5 players, Xbox, same thing. But if you have a Nintendo Switch version, you will not be able to play with like your PlayStation friends or anything like that. And a game like this, I feel like should have crossplay, but I mean, it is what it is. But Battlefront Collection was pretty neat. I was excited for it, and it's something that I'm definitely gonna pick up. We also got another look at Phaneckswhy, the Girl Who Steals Time, which is a game that actually was pretty fun. I remember when the first Phaneckswhy came out on 3DS, I was actually very excited to get it. I never did pick it up, unfortunately, but it was a game that I was really looking forward to. It's basically like a farming sim meets like RPG, but more RPG, I guess, and less farming sim. Like, it's kind of hard to explain it because there's not really a lot of farming elements. It's definitely way more RPG than something like Rune Factory, for example. It's a game that I think is pretty cool, especially if you're a fan of RPGs. I think it's pretty great. It's made by Level 5. Level 5, I want to say the majority of their games are really hit. I can't really think of a Level 5 game that misses. If you can think of one, definitely leave it in the comment section below, because I definitely can't think of one right now. But this is definitely a game to look forward to, and it is nice to see one, I guess, final look of the game before it comes out in October, which I probably would assume we'll probably get another look the closer we get to October. And then we had another Crab's Treasure. This is a Souls-like game where you play as a crab. It actually looks pretty awesome. The whole like voice acting was actually pretty good. The art style is pretty good. This is something I might pick up because I do like Souls-like style games, and I also like just the whole thing that's going on with this. So I might pick this up. This is something you might want to look at. It might be one of those cult classic games. And then we have arguably what's probably the biggest game of the partner showcase, which is Penny's Big Breakaway, which is made by the same team that made Sonic Mania. This game I've been looking forward to ever since I first saw it at a previous direct, and man, like, this game looks pretty awesome. If you're a fan of Sonic Mania or just action platformers, I think this is something to take a look at. It is nice to see that we're getting something other than Mario that's a platformer. I want to say the last big one that was pretty popular was A Hat in Time. I can't think of one between then and now. Again, if there's a game I'm missing that I can't think of at this moment, definitely go ahead and write that in the comment section below. I don't know of any other game that's as good as any of those, but yeah, I'm very glad that we're finally getting that. It is out today at the time I'm recording this, and yeah, you can pick it up pretty much on every platform. So definitely take a look at that. Definitely get it so we can get more platformers, because we need more platformers. Not that anything's wrong with Mario or anything like that. I love Mario, of course, but it's nice to have other platformers that are just not Mario, right? And the last highlight for me personally is having Killer Instincts, the SNES version, available on Nintendo Switch Online. I honestly thought we were going to get the N64 version as well, and we did not, which kind of sucks. Hopefully it will come in later on. It would have been nice to have that version, because that version of the game is what I played the most. I did play the SNES version, but the 64 version was the one that I think stood out to me personally. Kind of sucks we don't have that version, but oh well, it's what it is. We did get it on SNES. A bunch of rare games also came, like Battletoads and so forth, on the SNES platform. And I mean, yeah, this partner showcase had a lot of Xbox games, because Xbox owns Rare. They also had Grounded and Pentiment, which were kind of leaked already that they were coming to multiple platforms. Well, they did showcase that in today's partner showcase, showing off that both of those games will be coming to Nintendo Switch. One thing that was actually absent was Hi-Fi Rush. There was no Hi-Fi Rush ever to be heard of. There's no tweet about it, no anything. There are rumors already coming out, or not rumors, but apparently it's showing off that it's available soon on PlayStation. I think it's saying March, which was the last thing that I saw. So who knows, maybe it might show up on a different Direct or something like that. It might pop up later on, but I still think Hi-Fi Rush is coming to Nintendo Switch. But outside of the Xbox games, there were a few other notable mentions. Monster Hunter Stories is being remade in HD and coming to Nintendo Switch. They're actually doing voice acting in the game. If you haven't played Monster Hunter Stories, this is an RPG I highly recommend. There is monster catching elements to it where you capture the monsters from the Monster Hunter series and they fight alongside you, which is pretty cool. But the gameplay overall is pretty awesome. It has like this rock paper scissors element to it. The story is not the like deepest story, but it's still fun nonetheless. And it's an RPG I highly recommend it. I was actually very surprised when I started playing it. I actually played it on my iPad because it was available on Apple Arcade, and was surprised of how hooked I got with this game. Really enjoyed it. The music was amazing, and it's a game that I definitely do recommend playing it. It's not only coming to Nintendo Switch, it is coming to also PC and PlayStation as well, so definitely pick up that game. I highly recommend it. A couple of other stuff to also mention are, you have Ender Magnolia, which is the sequel to Ender Lily. It's basically a Metroidvania-like game. It's pretty awesome. I haven't played it myself, but I know a lot of people really enjoyed it. I've looked at gameplay and I really think it's pretty cool. It's a game that I definitely want to pick up. Eventually I'll get to it once I clear out my backlog, because there's still quite a lot of games that I have to get to. But it's something that I wouldn't miss out on, especially if you're a fan of Metroidvanias. Another one is like Super Monkey Ball that was announced. This one has online play, which I believe is the first in the Super Monkey Ball series. Again, another game that I've never played, but I'm actually looking forward to. And this might actually be my first Super Monkey Ball game, because it's pretty neat to be able to play this game online, which I think fits it perfect. The style of the game is a very, I guess, party-like game. Maybe not party-like game, but it feels very party-like, and it's something that I think would be a lot of fun with multiple people playing. So yeah, that's another game to really look forward to. In the end, like I mentioned, this Direct wasn't really for me, unfortunately. There wasn't a lot of things that in there that I really cared about. Unicorn Overlord was probably, it wasn't the highlight. Like I said, the highlight was definitely Battlefront as far as a new game goes, but Unicorn Overlord is probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most out of all the games mentioned and out of all the games shown. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't mention in those games. It's just because I don't really care for it. You can definitely check out the Nintendo Direct and see for yourself if that's something you're into. But these were the games that to me stood out the most. Now, there is a lot of disappointment because the Japanese version of the Direct actually showed off some pretty cool games that as of right now doesn't seem we are gonna get. And one of those is Mother 3. They're getting Mother 3 on NSO, and we're still not getting Mother 3. Like, come on. It's been years, and we still don't have an official translation to Mother 3. Yes, I know Mother 3 can be played through emulation with a translation built into it, because, of course, that's how I played it. But still, like, we should be getting that. They're also getting plushies. If you're a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, you can get these plushies you can get there. They have, like, Lucas on there. They have Clive. They have, I believe, I forgot who the other two were. I gotta look at that picture again. But yeah, definitely, there's a lot of things that they have going on with them. We're still not getting it. Like, come on. There's this other game that also reminded me of, like, Kingdom Hearts mixed with Final Fantasy Versus 13. Looks very interesting. Looks like an action RPG. I'll probably have it playing right now somewhere along in this video so you can see, and I'll have the name also put there because I don't remember what the name of it is, but that game also looked very interesting as well. Again, there's a lot of games that they showed off in the Japan Direct that we're not getting, and honestly that Direct actually looked pretty cool. Like, there was a lot of other stuff that were interesting that were maybe not notable games to mention, but games that are like, that seems pretty interesting. Maybe I would try it out if I have like extra time. Anyways, what did you think about this Nintendo Direct? Me personally wasn't a fan, like I said. And here's to hoping a better Direct. I assume we're gonna get an actual Nintendo Direct and not just a partner showcase, because we still have games to look forward to, such as Luigi's Mansion, right? We haven't seen anything about Luigi's Mansion 2 in terms of like a release date or anything like that. Or actually, I'm sorry, we haven't seen more about Luigi's Mansion 2, like if they've added any extra, gameplay elements, any other features and stuff like that. We do have Peach's Showtime coming out very, very soon. And I want to say outside of first party, Mario and 1000 Year Door, Paper Mario and 1000 Year Door, we still have to wait on that as well. So outside of those games, I don't think there's anything else that we're waiting on. Unless those Zelda rumors are true and we're going to get the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD finally. I mean, this would be the perfect time assuming that the Switch is delayed to 2025 like some of these reports say. I think this would be the perfect time to just bring in another Zelda game, right? Since they're not doing DLC, right? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Also follow us over at Twitch. Check out the podcast every Sunday. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course you can watch it live on both YouTube and Twitch while we're doing the podcast, and you can watch all the episodes on YouTube as well. My name is James. I'll catch you guys later.